Today I just want to talk about new little bits and pieces of information that have come out about The Sims 4 recently, mostly in the form of tweets from the Sim Gurus. Now if you're not following any Sim Gurus on Twitter, you should, because they're some of the active I've seen in the gaming community, to be honest with you. They answer so many questions, and every now and then they give us little sneak peeks into the development of The Sims 4. One of the most interesting tweets recently was by Sim Guru Grant, which is Grant Rodiak. He is a producer on The Sims 4, and a few days ago now, he tweeted the following: "Awesome emergent Sims 4 moment today. Instructed my Sim to eat a healthy meal. While eating, she thought about eating junk food." Now that is just obviously giving us a little sneak peek into perhaps how the new food, dieting, weight system works in The Sims 4. I don't know. Could also be a sign of improved AI in The Sims 4. Perhaps your Sims are going to react differently depending on what you tell them to do. So for example here, maybe he's trying to get his Sim to eat healthily and exercise more, and although she's going to do it because she's been instructed to do it, maybe she's not that happy about it. And perhaps, who knows, maybe if you leave free will on, maybe it's that much more advanced that she will sneak in junk food when you're not looking, who knows. But I like the whole idea of that. If you're not following Grant on Twitter, do it now. He's at SimGuruGrant. I'll put a link in the description, as well as a few other gurus as well. Let's see, who else was there? SimGuru Graham was talking about music recently, about in-game music. We're waiting for an announcement about who's doing it and what theme they're going for this time, but according to him, they're going to start recording the soundtrack in March, so the studio know nothing about it yet. I think he was tweeted saying that the jazz music in the Create a Sim demo back in Gamescom in August, he said how relaxing that was, but then he tweeted a little bit later saying it was only placeholder music, which is a shame because I did kind of like that music. And when asked about what direction the music's going in, he said he won't have a clue about that until he actually hears it for himself. Talking about music, I read something interesting the other day which I thought was pretty cool. How the sound is designed for The Sims 4. An example they gave was if your Sim is talking and you move the camera around behind him, his voice will be slightly muffled. And if you have music on in one room, you scroll over to the next room, it's going to be slightly muffled, and the further you go away, the further it's going to sound, realistic, like it does in a real house. I think it's something really, it just adds to the realism, and realism is something I always look for in The Sims. Taken away a little bit, I feel, in The Sims 3, but hopefully that's the direction they're going in The Sims 4. What kind of soundtrack would you like The Sims 4 to have? Looking at the screenshots now, what music do you hear in your head as you look at it? Do you want it to be similar to The Sims 3, The Sims 2, The Sims 1 even? Personally, I think it should be a mixture of The Sims 1 and The Sims 2. That Latin sort of jazz with a little bit of electronica from The Sims 2. I like The Sims 3, but now of course, 5 years later, it's getting a bit repetitive. I don't think it suits the art style of The Sims 4 at all. The Sims 3's soundtrack was a little too Wisteria Lane for my liking, but who knows, maybe you guys like that. Oh, something else I thought was really interesting is gaming website IGN included The Sims 4 in their top 25 games to play in 2014. But let's face it, The Sims isn't quite as big as it used to be, especially in general gaming circles and hardcore gaming circles. It's not really considered much of a game, with inverted commas. So for it to be included in the top 25 games to play this year by IGN, that's pretty good going. And by the way, we're also almost at 5,000 subscribers, which is just unbelievable. I'll be putting a very special video out for that, so look out for it.